Book Babes! My name is Ainsley and welcome back to my library. For today's video, it's the 4th of July. So I'm going to be doing a reading vlog for my super long weekend. This camera is super zoomed in. I'm so sorry, you guys. Sorry for the trauma of having to look at me. Sorry. Today's the 4th of July. Yay! So I have today off of work, and I also am taking tomorrow, which is Friday, also off from work. So I have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off to just read and just chill out and everything. For this video, I am halfway through This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and I'm not loving it, you guys. I'm really not. I'm 54% of the way through. I honestly was going to DNF it, but I'm not going to. But so I went to the store yesterday and I picked up Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the sequel to Powerless, and I read Powerless 2 weeks ago, and I've just been obsessing and counting down for this book to come out. So this book was released on July 2nd. I picked it up July 3rd. There was actually only 3 copies left in my bookstore, which is actually ridiculous that I had to wait that long. I really want to read this book, so I'm going to be diving into Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Another book I'm kind of hoping to get to is The Rulebook by Sarah Adams. I definitely want to read Reckless first and then try to finish the Carly Fortune book before diving into this book. Actually, fun fact, this will be the 4th of July that I've read a Sarah Adams book. I don't know how that's happened, but every single time I read a book by Sarah, it's always in July. If I don't read it in this vlog, I'm gonna read it another time in the month, but this is just on my radar to pick up for this weekend because it seems really cool. I know I just mentioned going to the bookstore and getting Reckless, so let me do a quick little mini haul really quick. For my birthday, I know I uploaded my birthday book haul video. You guys can go check that out, but in that video, I completely forgot that I pre-ordered To Love and Curses. Wait, what? What am I talking about? This is not what? A Curse for True Love. Now I have the entire series and I'm so excited. This came July 1st. It was such a nice surprise because I completely forgot that I ordered it. And I remember night of placing the order, and I remember like the next day being like, did I order that? Like, I completely forgot about this book. I am going to read this trilogy in the fall because I heard it's like a cozy fantasy whimsical mystery read, so I definitely want to read all 3 of these in fall whenever we're supposed to be comfy and cozy. I also picked up The Burnout by Sophie Kinsella. I've never read anything by Sophie, but I own a lot of her books. She wrote the Shopaholic series, and I've heard a lot of good things about her writing. I've heard that her characters are just super fun, and it's just really easy to like get into it. Like, there's not a lot of depth to her books, but they're like fun weekend reads, so I'm really excited. But this book, we follow Sasha and Finn, which I love the name Finn, that's just so cute. But so we're following Sasha and Finn, and they're both professionals who are going through a burnout, and we witness them just really rely on each other and kind of have this expectation of the other person to like help them get out of it. So it's really cool. It says that Sasha just can't do her job anymore, so she goes to this resort that she loved as a little girl, so she went back to like her safe space. But it's on the off season, so it's literally just her there, but there's also this guy named Finn there, and he's going through the same exact like life crisis as Sasha. I have never experienced professional burnout before. I experienced academic burnout my freshman year of college, and that was like horrible. It was horrible because it was right before finals and I could not bring myself to do anything, and I had been an academic perfectionist for all 18 years of my life, so for me to magically just not care anymore about school, I was like, what's going on? But if burnout means I get to go to a seaside resort and fall in love, bring it on. Bring on the burnout. Anyways, so I'm gonna let you guys get started on the vlog, and I'm gonna start reading Reckless. Bye! Happy 4th of July, you guys! This is literally my favorite holiday in the whole entire world. Chef's kiss for this holiday. It is literally the best one ever. It is 1:34 p.m. We had pretty chill morning. I woke up at 10. I cleaned the kitchen some, and then I started reading Reckless. You guys, I went to the bookstore last night, picked this up. There was only 3 copies left at my Books A Million. What? So anyway, pick this up. I am on page 113. This book is phenomenal. Literally, it's so good. It's giving the tension that you want. It's giving the I want to hate you but I can't. It is just giving in such a wonderful way. To be finishing Reckless today, I'm gonna head to the beach and then I'll catch up with you guys whenever I'm back. Whoa, what's up? That's so cringe. I just got back from the beach. I read another 100 pages in Reckless. I'm on page 227 right now. I think I have 100 pages left to go, so we are for sure finishing this book tonight. The beach was so fun. I've never met so many annoying people in my life, you know what I mean? Also, so many golf carts are just like illegally driving, and it's like, can you not break the law right now? On our day of freedom, can you not break the law? Anyways, but I had so much fun at the beach. The waves, honestly, like if you're coming to visit Myrtle Beach and you're coming for the beach, the waves today is exactly what you want. Like it's literally what you pray for before you go on a vacation. The waves were beautiful. They were not aggressive. It was just so good. It was just such a good beach day. So because the 4th of July is my all-time favorite holiday. Yes, I have this super cute outfit, but I also have a cozy, comfy, like sleep set. It's a leggings and a sweatshirt. I'm gonna show y'all, so give me 1 sec and then I will reappear. Oh my word, so sorry for the lighting. And you actually can't see my leggings at all. But so I threw on this oversized blue sweatshirt that is just screaming 4th of July. And then I'm wearing red flare leggings. So I'm gonna take my makeup off and braid my hair and just catch you guys up on where I'm at with Reckless. So I don't plan on this having any spoilers, and if you're scared there's gonna be spoilers, I will edit them out if I realize that they are spoilers. I don't like spoilers. I think that's literally the worst thing to happen to any form of literature or TV shows or movies. I think it's stupid whenever people spoil stuff. So I have 100 pages left in Reckless, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I don't think it's gonna be a 5 or a 4 because I feel like all of it's pretty predictable, and honestly it's like it's really repetitive. This book is very much character driven, like there's not really a plot going for it, which is totally fine. So like if you are okay with like character driven novels, like that's great. And Lauren even came out and she was like, I gave you a super chill book 2 so that all the chaos can happen in book 3. It's not boring by any means. It's just really chill. Like, I don't know, I feel like with the first book, we were constantly like, go, 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 go. I don't know, like the pacing of the first book and the pacing of this book, why did I take my hair down? I'm not finished. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like the vibe and the pace in the first book, I'm kind of getting whiplash. But whiplash happens whenever there's something like whiplash is going slow to fast, but like I'm getting reverse whiplash. Like I was going so fast, now it's like, oh, we're chill. But I will say like Kai and what's her name, Peyton, like their relationship, the tension that they're going through, the fights that they're having, like the bickering and the banter is so good. It's so good. Like they've always been like a bickering and a bantering like couple, but I feel like in this book like there actually is that ounce of hatred for each other that really just like adds to the dynamic and makes it so much better. The interpersonal part of this book is so much better than it was in book 1. But as for plot and everything, book 1 for sure tops this. Again, I do have like 100 pages left, so things might change, but like honestly don't go into this book expecting like a repeat book 1 because you're not gonna get it. And then after I finish Reckless tonight, I might immediately go into The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I just really want to be done with that book. Like I'm just not a fan of it whatsoever. I don't know what it is. I'm not getting like romantic vibes from them. I'm getting like every single time they meet up and hang out and see each other, they have like a sexual reunion. And I don't really like reading stuff like I don't like reading that. So I feel like I'm having to skip the majority of the flashback scenes because they just go right into doing that. And it's like, you don't need to do that. So part of me is like, is their relationship based on love, or is it based on like they like that part of each? I don't know. It's probably like where my Christian is coming in, so that's probably just me having that. But anyways, I'm gonna go finish Reckless and I'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks for listening to the rant. Bye guys. Guys, sorry I look like I just woke up, but that's because I did. So last night I finished Reckless by Lauren Roberts and it was so good. It really was so good. But I'm giving it a 3.25 and you're probably like, how is the book good and you're giving it 3.25? Well, this book was good because I know that we needed to have this book to get us to an epic book 3. But even though I understand that this book was the bridge, I'm kind of like, I expected a little bit more. I also think it was kind of jarring how we went from having so many characters in Powerless to it basically being Kai and Peyton in this book. They did good. I mean, like, I love character-driven novels. This was for sure a character-driven novels. Like, the plot wasn't really plotting for me, but the characters were really giving kind of like what you want and what you need. So it was good. It was good. I also just feel like there were some plot points in book 1 that didn't really transfer into book 2. Maybe they'll just magically come back up again in book 3, but I just feel like, I don't know. I will say the tension and the banter in this book is so good. It was very palpable, and like I literally felt like I was sitting on the road with them and just hearing them bicker, and I was like, period. Also, sorry that my eyes are like watering. I look like I'm crying. My eyes just like had it out for me today, truthfully. I'm not saying don't read the book. Like, I'm not at all saying that. But I'm saying if you're going into this book with expectation that it's going to be similar pacing, similar plot, similar character, like, no, you're not really getting anything. Like, this is just a continuation of Kai and Peyton, which is really cool and good to read, but they're not comparable. And now going into book 3, my main question is going to be like, could this have just been a duology? Because I feel like some of the scenes and stuff were really just like elongated, or like there was just a lot of padding in certain scenes that I don't know if it was necessary or not. So I guess in book 3 I'll realize if book 2 needed to be as long as it needed to be. But I am a little over halfway in This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. However, plot twist, I lost my credit card at the mall last week, and I just called this morning and they have found it and they have it waiting for me. The mall is like 40 minutes away, which is like, of all places to lose my card. Of course I lose it at the place that's like so far away that I never go to. So I'm gonna make the hour-and-a-half-ish drive to the mall and back. Since it's a new month, I have my Spotify audiobook hours like restocked or whatever, and so I'm gonna be listening to The Summer Will Be Different as an audiobook on my way to the mall and on the way back, and hopefully that gives me a good dent into this book, so whenever I do get back I don't have as much to like physically read today, which will be really awesome. And then after I finish this book, I really want to dive into the rule book. This book is going to be so good. So my goal, honestly, is to finish this book midday today and then pick this book up this afternoon. I want to update you guys. So I finished the summer. This summer will be different, but I DNF'd it actually at 80%. So I drove to the store and I got my credit card. On my way back home from where we last met up, I DNF'd at 80% and I haven't really done anything. I mean, my mom and I, we went out to get dinner and it was just so yummy. We had crab legs. It was so good. But after that, we didn't really do much. I kind of just laid and chilled all day, which was kind of really fun. But I didn't do much reading. But I DNF'd this book because I didn't have any like connection with the characters. I really wasn't liking the plot. I really feel like there was no plot. And at the 81% mark, we discover the reason why Bridget left to Prince Edward Island and was like running away from her wedding. She opens up about that reason, which I was really curious to figure that out. And that's why I was hooked in this book for so long, because I wanted to know the root reason of why this is going on. And then also, we saw the relationship between Felix and Lucy having to tell Bridget about their relationship. And that was really, really cool. And that's not a spoiler because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, obviously she has to tell her best friend who she's, you know what I mean? But so getting to see how that evolved and how that happened, I was really interested in seeing, because the brother's best friend trope, like, there's so many different ways the best friend can take the news. And so I'm always curious to figure that out. But so at the 80% mark, both of my questions for this book were answered. And I was like, I really don't want to spend another like hour of my life reading these pages. But now my mom and I were going to go on our hammock downstairs and kind of just chill and read for a little bit. And I'm going to start the rule book by Sarah Adams. This is a football enemies to lovers. Nora and Derek dated in college and they're actually exes right now. And now Derek is in the NFL and Nora is his agent, and they're kind of enemies to lovers. And I want to say they fake date. No, they accidentally get drunk married. That's so not fake dating. They work together, they're exes, and they don't like each other. And now they are married. So that's going to be so much fun. I love Sarah Adams' writing. A lot of the times I'm able to connect with her characters. I really feel like in the cheat sheet and the match, I was really able to connect with them. I'll keep you updated. So I finished reading the rule book tonight. I actually didn't mean to. And I read about 60% of this book on the hammock. But then whenever I came inside, I was in like this like weird part of the book that I kind of just wanted to get through, because I knew like if I stopped there and then wanted to pick it up tomorrow, like it would be difficult for me to get back into it. So I just came inside and I kept trudging through it. And I probably shouldn't have, because I finished the book. Like I fully didn't mean to. I wanted to read maybe like the first 30% today and then finish the book tomorrow. Poolside, again, poolside. This book was good. It was really cute. Nora, the main character, kind of really annoyed me. I'm a very awkward person. She's a very awkward person, but like she was also like really obnoxious at sometimes, and I was like, girl, I'm not really one for like a second chance romance. Like I really just genuinely, I don't like it. I'm a big believer that if you date and you break up, don't get back with that person unless serious growth has happened and you can tell that they are a different person. Like if you go back into a relationship and no growth has happened, no changes have been made, it's kind of like you're just asking to get your heart broken again. And for this book, it was done so well because yes, they broke up, but over the years in between their breakup to the present, they've both grown. They both learned so much about themselves. And I mean, they even talked about it a lot in their conversations, is like, who we are today, we can make this relationship work. Like in the past, who we were then, the relationship would have died. But who they are now, where they're at now, like it makes a difference. Like right person, wrong time was them. There were so many little minor like plot twists that I just found myself being like I didn't expect. They weren't like these big, huge, like mind-blowing plot twists, but like little like ripples in the plot that you're not expecting. That's a plot twist. And there were a couple of those moments of like, whoa, like I didn't expect that, but like that's a really, really cool way to take the book. So I just love Sarah Adams' writing. It's so easy to fall into. Her characters are so real. I didn't really have a connection to any of the characters in this book, but I will say I loved seeing Nathan and Bree in this book. I feel like a lot of times there is books, like romance books that are a series, and it's kind of like, why is this a series? Like these characters have no connection with the other. Like if you're best friends in book one and then book two, like you're magically not there. Like I don't understand. But Sarah did such a good job of keeping Nathan and Bree from the cheat sheet consistent in this book, which I think is a really, really difficult thing to do. And I've seen a lot of authors fail at it. And the fact that Sarah Adams kept the characters from book one relevant in this book and true to who they are in the first book, chef's kiss. Derek and Nora's relationship, I want that. The way Derek spoke about her is what every girl dreams of. Like truthfully, I believe every single girl wants to be romanced. Derek just did a phenomenal job of romancing her often. But yeah, 4 stars, and I'm gonna go to bed and then I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow whenever I figure out what I'm reading, because I don't know. Good morning, book babes. It is unfortunately our last day together. I'm so upset, but my long weekend is ending tomorrow because I have work. But I have icing here and I've just been kind of eating it, trying to decide what book to read. So I called my best friend, and my best friend told me to tell her what books I was considering and the synopsis, and she was going to pick for me. Her options were Flawless by Elsie Silver, Memory Lane by Becky Wade, and The Burnout by Sophie Kinsella. I'm realizing right now I pretty much only have like 3 books left on my summer TBR, and it's the first week of July. So I'm kind of struggling a little bit with like, what the heck am I going to read after this? She decided on Memory Lane by Becky Wade. And I'm actually really excited for this book. This one is on my summer TBR, so I'll be checking off yet another book that I really want to read. This book, it seems really, really good. My concern is the book is really, really thick, and I would like to read a book today, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get through the entire thing today. I've heard a lot of really, really good things about it. I feel like it was really popular on Book Talk for like a month. So I definitely... it got my interest. So we're gonna pick up some lunch on our way to the pool and then eat lunch at the pool, and then I'm gonna read this book, and it's going to be a fantastic, wonderful final day of just summer relaxation. And I'm so excited that I'm just so thankful that I got to have this break and I got to just like kind of like breathe. I love that I've been able to just dedicate 3 days of my life to reading. It has been absolutely insane. So we had a slight change of plans. This morning whenever we chatted, I talked about picking up Memory Lane by Becky Wade, and while I did read this book at the pool and I read it a little bit in the hammock, I got to chapter 9, page 123, and while I was reading it, it's good. I'm definitely going to continue it. But I think because I had just read like 2 romance books and then I read a fantasy book that was really heavy on romance, I was just like, I found myself not really wanting to get too deep into this book because my brain was like bored with the romance theme. And I recently discovered Sally Hempworth's newest book, Darling Girls, and that book seemed so interesting, and it is about foster care. And if you guys don't know, like, my heart, God placed foster care kiddos on my heart so heavily when I was like 8 years old. All of my like undergraduate research was for foster care kids, and as soon as I am financially there and can financially support a child, I will be getting my foster care license. So foster care is just such a big part of my heart, and what I feel most passionately drawn towards is foster care, and just advocating for them and doing everything I can for them, basically. So this book, Darling Girls, focuses on 3 sisters who grew up in a foster home together, and they experienced some really horrific child abuse in there. And then years later, obviously they're still sisters, they're still living their life, and their past gets called up, and they are pretty much thrown into finally coming face to face with their past and having to overcome it and work through it. And it's like a thriller horror book, and I just felt like that was more what I wanted to read, just to like cleanse my palate of the romance, which is kind of crazy to say that it was a palate cleanser considering the depth of this novel. Like, I was reading Memory Lane, I finished that chapter, and I was like, you know what, I want something else. So I immediately started Darling Girls on my Kindle that's on my phone, and I actually just finished it, and it was so good, you guys. I'm giving it 4.25 stars. It was really, really, really good. I'll just say why I didn't give it a 5 and why I gave it a 4.25 stars is because the ending was really disappointing. I feel like there was so much build up, and you were hooked and ready to get an answer, and I just feel like she didn't really deliver with the answer. Like, I feel let down. If it was one of the possible endings that I was thinking about while I was reading the book, it would have been a 5-star read for sure. And not saying that it's because it would have been my ending, but it would have been an ending that like actually made sense. So that's why I marked it down. But as for why it got a 4.25 stars, it sucks you in from page 1. You're sucked in. Like, you are just glued into this book, which is exactly what a novel should do. You should be taken into the page, and that's literally what I feel like I was. I feel like I was just there witnessing everything. And also it just evoked such real feelings for me. Like, as I mentioned, child abuse is a pretty heavy theme throughout this book, and I physically had like feelings during scenes that were written about that topic. Like, I had to like step away. It was overwhelming at times. I was laughing at times. I was tearing up and crying at times. So it was just a very emotional and deep experience that a lot of the times you want from a book. I mean, like, you have to make sure you're in the right headspace for it, but the book was really, really good, and it definitely was an emotional roller coaster, but in a really, really good way. I also want to say her writing style is so clear and easy to understand and just good. As I mentioned, you're following 3 sisters, so you're getting 3 point of views, but you're also getting a dual timeline. So you're getting the present time, them having to face what happened to them, and you're also getting the before, and you're getting to walk through them experiencing that abuse. And it could have been so confusing to have past and present plus 3 people to follow. That's 5 different things going on. It could have been the most complicated and confusing read of my life, but everything made sense. I think each of her characters had a different dynamic. They each had their own little quirks and such, to where it was like, okay, like, this is Jessica. Like, I am reading Nora. I am reading. So that was really, really good. I think her writing style was just really, really clear and concise. I felt like no scenes were unnecessary. I'm literally I think my thing whenever it comes to like book critiques is I'm such a stickler on like unneeded scenes. Like, it's like, okay, you're clearly just trying to meet your word count by adding in the scene because it is adding nothing to it. And I feel like in this book, none of that happened. I read this book and I was never like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why is this here? Everything was needed. It was such a good book. Again, the only thing I didn't like was the ending. And again, that should always be like the best part of the book. The whole book should be amazing. But if you can only pick one area of your book to be great, it needs to be the beginning little part to get you in it, and then the end, because the end is truly what you remember. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of the vlog. It is 12:46 a.m. and I have work tomorrow starting at 7, so I really do need to go to bed like as soon as possible. I loved this reading vlog. Guys, we had such an excellent reading week, so let me just recap on what we read together because it was amazing. So we started on Thursday, we read Reckless and I got a 3.25 star rating. On Friday, we finished This Summer Will Be Different. It was a DNF. We DNF'd at 81%. Then we read The Rule Book by Sarah Adams, which we gave a 4-star rating to. Earlier today, we started Memory Lane. I got 120 pages in. I'm probably going to be finishing this between tomorrow and Monday. And then I just read Darling Girls, which got a 4.25 star rating. So we did really, really good. We got 2 4s, a 3, and a DNF, but that's okay. That's okay. It's actually rare that I get a DNF, so this vlog is kind of special. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye.